finally tried making that pasta dish you told me about last week.
Oh yeah? The one with the roasted garlic and cherry tomatoes?
Exactly. But I spent an entire hour reading the recipe and measuring every single ingredient perfectly before I even turned on the stove.
You measured the olive oil, didn't you?
I totally did. I wanted it to be absolutely perfect. And by the time I actually started cooking, I was already exhausted and stressed out.
That's the trap. You spend so much time planning and preparing that you lose the fun of actually doing the thing.
Right. And honestly, it made me think about our podcast topic today. I feel like this is exactly what happens with learning English.
Oh, for sure. We get so caught up in the rules and the structure that we forget to just speak and enjoy the conversation.
We really do. And since we're already chatting about this, we should probably let everyone know they're listening to the Mr. English channel. I'm Emily.
And I'm Paul. If you stick with us today, you're going to learn how to stop waiting for perfection.
Exactly. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to start speaking English right away, naturally and confidently.
Yep, because the big question we always hear is, should I study grammar first, or should I just start speaking right away?
It's such a huge debate, and I get it. Honestly, I used to be a strict grammar-first person. I wanted to understand every single rule before I opened my mouth.
I know, right? It feels so safe. You think, if I know all the rules, I won't make any mistakes when I finally talk to someone.
Exactly. Grammar is great because it shows you the structure of the language. It's kind of like having a really detailed map before you go on a road trip.
But you can't just stare at the map forever in your driveway. Eventually, you have to start the engine and drive the car.
That's a great way to put it. Studying too much grammar early on can actually slow you down so much. You start overthinking every single word.
Totally. You start building a sentence in your head, and you're mentally checking all the verb tenses. By the time you're finally ready to speak, the conversation has already moved on to something else.
It happens all the time. You miss the moment because you're busy acting like a human grammar checker. That's why the speaking first approach is just so powerful.
For sure. When you start speaking right away, you build confidence. You learn that you can actually survive a conversation even if it isn't perfect.
And you build speed. When you're just talking, you don't have time to worry about having flawless grammar. You just focus on communicating your idea to the other person.
Right, because language is just a tool to connect with people. If the other person understands what you mean, you're communicating successfully.
That's the real goal. We aren't robots exchanging data. We're people sharing stories. And when you speak first, you actually pick up new vocabulary much faster because you're using it in real life.
Exactly. It sticks in your memory because it has an emotion or a real situation attached to it, not just a definition in a textbook.
But of course, if you speak before knowing all the rules, there is one guarantee. You will definitely make mistakes.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to use the wrong verb tense, you're going to forget a simple word, and that's completely normal and fine.
It's more than fine. It's necessary. Mistakes are just proof that you're trying. You really don't need to be perfect to start.
I always think about when I first tried to speak Spanish on a trip. I meant to tell a waiter I was embarrassed, but I accidentally used a word that meant I was pregnant.
Oh no, that is a classic mistake. I bet his reaction was priceless, but I also bet you never forgot the right word after that day.
I sure didn't. And the best part was that the waiter laughed, I laughed, and we had a great human interaction. It wasn't a failure at all. It was a funny memory.
That's the perfect attitude to have. You just have to embrace the messy part of learning anything new.
Yeah, And speaking of embracing things, if you're enjoying our messy, fun conversations here, make sure you hit the like button on this video.
For sure. Subscribe to the channel and maybe share this episode with a friend who also worries a little too much about perfect grammar. We'd love to hear from you too.
Definitely. Leave us a comment down below. Tell us about a funny mistake you've made while practicing English. We love reading your stories.
So, we talked about how speaking first is a great way to build confidence, but we shouldn't pretend that grammar is useless. It still really matters.
Right. Speaking gets you moving, but grammar cleans things up later. It helps you sound more natural and precise when you share your ideas.
Exactly. Think of speaking as writing a rough draft and grammar as the editing process. You can't edit a blank page. You have to speak first so you have something to fix.
I love that comparison. Once you have a basic flow of speaking, learning a new grammar rule feels like a total light bulb moment. You think, oh, that's why they say it that way.
Yep, you notice the grammar out in the real world. It's not just a boring rule in a book anymore. It's a real pattern you hear people using in movies or on podcasts.
That's why the absolute best combination is what we call speaking first, grammar along the way.
Exactly. You learn a very simple structure, and then you immediately go use it in real life as much as you can.
Right. Let's say you just learned the basics of how to talk about the past, just simple past tense. Then you spend the rest of the week just telling stories about yesterday or last year.
You practice speaking those stories out loud. You'll probably make mistakes, and that's perfectly fine. That's when you go back and check the grammar rule to adjust.
It's a natural cycle. You speak, you notice a gap in your knowledge, and then you use a little bit of grammar to fill that gap.
It's so much more practical than memorizing tables of verbs, and this actually leads us to a really simple daily routine you can use to combine both speaking and grammar.
Yes, a lot of people ask how they should study every day without getting completely overwhelmed. You really only need 15 or 20 minutes of focused time.
Totally. Let's break it down for them. Imagine you have 20 minutes a day to practice English. How should you spend it to get the best results?
Well, I'd say start with just 10 minutes of listening. Put on a short video, a podcast snippet, or even a song you like. Just get the sound of English in your ears.
And don't stress about understanding every single word. Just listen to the rhythm, the intonation, and the flow of the sentences.
Exactly. Then take another 10 minutes to focus on just one small grammar point or a couple of new words you noticed while listening.
Keep it super small and manageable. Don't try to learn all the English verb tenses in one day. Just learn one tiny thing, like how to use the word actually in a sentence.
Right, just one small tool to add to your toolbox. And then comes the most important part of the routine. Spend the last 10 minutes actually speaking, out loud.
Yeah, you don't even need a conversation partner for this. Just talk to yourself in the mirror. Describe what you're doing right now. Try to use that one new word you just learned.
I do that all the time when I practice. I'll just narrate my morning routine, like I'm making coffee, I'm pouring the milk, the coffee is too hot. It sounds kind of silly, but it works incredibly well.
It really does work. It trains the muscles in your mouth to form the English words naturally without you having to translate everything in your head first.
And if you do this simple routine every single day, listen a little, learn a little piece of grammar, and then speak, you'll see huge progress over time.
For sure. The key to this is consistency, not perfection. You have to stop waiting until you feel ready to start speaking.
That's probably the biggest takeaway from today. You will literally never feel 100% ready. You just have to jump in and start using the language.
Yep. You learn English by using English. It really is as simple as that. Don't wait for someday. Make today the day you start talking.
Absolutely. And we've used some really great words and expressions in our chat today. Let's grab a few of them from our pockets and take a closer look.
Oh, good idea. I always love this part. The first one I noticed you said earlier was exhausted when I was talking about cooking.
Yes, you said you were exhausted after reading the recipe. Exhausted just means very, very tired. You have absolutely no energy left.
Right. You could just say, I'm tired, but I'm exhausted paints a much stronger picture. It's like how you feel after a really long day at work or a tough workout.
Exactly. Another really useful word we used a lot today was structure. You said grammar shows you the structure of the language.
Yeah, structure is essentially the way things are organized and put together. It's like the wooden frame of a house before you put the walls up.
Perfect description. It holds everything together. Then later on, you used a great phrase. You called something a light bulb moment.
I love that expression. A light bulb moment is when you suddenly understand something clearly. It's like a literal light turning on inside your head in a cartoon.
It's such a great feeling when that finally happens. And the last word we should definitely highlight today is consistency.
A very important word for any habit. Consistency just means doing something regularly, over and over again, without stopping or giving up.
Right, like sticking to our daily 20-minute routine. Consistency is always much better than studying for 5 hours on a Sunday and then doing nothing for a month.
Totally. A little bit every day goes a very long way. Okay, let's take a look at a few common sentences we hear a lot and see how we can smooth them out to sound a bit more natural.
Sounds good. I always notice that sometimes a sentence is grammatically perfect, but it just isn't the way native speakers actually say it in real life.
Exactly. So here's the first one. Someone might say, I have a lot of doubts about this project.
That's a really common direct translation from a lot of languages. But in English, we usually say, I have a lot of questions about this project.
Right. We usually only use the word doubts when we feel unsure if something is true or if it will succeed. If you just need more information, use questions.
Good tip. It just softens the tone a bit. Here's another one. Sometimes people want to show strong agreement, so they say, I am very agreeing with you.
Ah, yes. The verb agree doesn't usually take the ing form like that in this context. It's much more natural to just say, I completely agree with you.
Exactly. Or even shorter and more punchy, just say, I agree. Keeping things simple is almost always the best choice.
Yep, simple is powerful. Okay, one more for today. How about when someone says, I want to explain you my new idea?
You're so close with that one, but we need to add a small preposition in there. It sounds much more natural to say, I want to explain my new idea to you.
Right, you explain something to someone. It's just a tiny adjustment with that one little word, but it makes a huge difference in how natural you sound.
It really does. It smooths the whole sentence out. Now, let's hear how all these ideas and new words sound in a realistic conversation.
I love this. Let's imagine we're taking a language class together, and we're catching up before the teacher walks in.
Hey, Emily, did you finish all the grammar exercises for today's lesson?
Not yet. Honestly, I was so exhausted last night from work that I just watched a movie in English instead of studying my textbook.
That's probably better anyway. I spent 3 hours memorizing verb rules, and I just feel like I'm overthinking everything now. I want to have the perfect structure before I talk to anyone.
You definitely are overthinking it. You just need consistency. Try speaking first and let the grammar come naturally along the way.
I guess you're right. I actually did have a light bulb moment while trying to order a coffee this morning. I made a mistake, but the barista still understood me perfectly.
See, you learn so much just by engaging with the language in the real world. You really don't need to be perfect to communicate and connect with people.
That's a great reminder. I'm going to try just talking more next time, even if I mess up the verbs.
And that is exactly what we want all of you listening to do this week. Just start talking.
Yes, please don't let the fear of making a few mistakes stop you from using your English. We're all just learning and growing together.
Absolutely. It's all part of the journey. If you enjoyed our chat today, please remember to subscribe and hit the like button. It really helps the channel out.
And share this video with someone who needs a little confidence boost today. Have a wonderful week, everyone.
Keep speaking, and we'll see you next time.